companies, if you have to say so. I told you there is no exception. Whether you're a small company, whether you're a big company, you are entitled to register the owner of your organization or company. So the information that is needed, you need your name, the nationality, the residential area, just like the way we fill forms, every forms of your national ID, opening up a bank account. Yeah, so this helps in controlling the company, exercising significant influence, or those that have benefits from its transaction. So, in short, this beneficial ownership law helps in a way to address financial crimes like we have in Uganda. We have cases of corruption, we have cases of money laundering. Yeah, at least for now, we are not going to be appearing on the blacklist of money laundering, but it's been a habit that has been happening in Uganda where people launder money, and of course tax evasions as well, terrorist financing. So for government, it sets it as a measure to curb defaulters, corrupt people, then those that do money laundering. Yeah, so you I'd have to identify your company beneficial ownership information that enables authorities to investigate or prosecute individuals engaged in financial crimes, which are laid out before right there. Now, of course, it also helps in minimizing customer risks. And now, of course, having access to beneficial ownership information allows business entities such as financial institutions to have a clear understanding of risks associated with potential customers or third party. So that is all about the beneficial ownership law. Well, the initial deadline actually that was put before was the 11th of February 2023, with ongoing reports requiring for changes. Well, this, like I said, Uganda is aligning its laws with international standards on beneficial ownership transparency. Like I'd said, it all cuts across transparency, no evading taxes, there's nobody. So that is why I said, whether you have a small business, whether you have a large enterprise, whether you have a huge company, it all applies. Why? They have track record of your finances at the end of the day. It's like now opening a bank account. Yeah, they have to know who is responsible for this organization. At the end of the day, it has to be in names of someone that is held responsible. So you have to give in your information regarding organization, the nationality, like, just like, how you open a bank account. So that is for the whole process of this beneficial ownership law that has been instituted in Uganda, of course, disclosing in 2020, that was started up in 2022. Well, of course, companies and partnership maintain their own internal registers, and a summary of information is filled with Uganda Registration Services Bureau, URSB. So that is where you go and have your company registered and the owner. So you, as a person, if they choose Masikatsime, I sign on behalf of the company, and whatever money, whatever transactions that happens, it's on me at the end of the day. I have to be responsible for whatever transpires in that organization or corporation or business. Well, it's just 16 minutes past 7 a.m. And of course, it's the time we get to see what is happening into the press. Well, Of course, shortly I'll be interchanging with the new vision. Well, 85 trillion locked up in commercial court. Well, cases involving corporate disputes have tied up more than 44 trillion, while those involving banking are locked up 10.5 billion trillion, I beg your pardon, among others, according to judiciary audits sent by reports here. Well, of course, still on yesterday, as Christians asked to take care of the needy during the Lent season. And of course, government adds stadium to Janan Luwum pilgrimage site. And of course, we shall be remembering Janan Luwum, the late, for having his contributed to the country, Uganda. Well, of course, Minister Raud monitor for craft fight. And of course, still here in the new vision, a land sales agreement reveals shocking details. Did Otafire pay off on zero farmland? He was asking for compensation or allegations for him, billions of money actually. Yeah. So you can imagine the kind of scandals that Uganda is involved in. Well, a government thinks new partner, and that is as Umeme exits. And of course, still on the Magara murder, coup recounts ordeal. Well, that is what is happening in our papers today. Yes, and of course, people had on their foreheads ash yesterday morning and then the first evening. Yeah, so definitely it was a day to celebrate one way or the other. It's illegal for servicing soldiers to participate in politics. That is according to court. Yeah, so if you actually, for every person to participate in politics, you have to resign. That is the rule, that is the law. You have to resign. So if you lose, you go back to seek for jobs, just like everyone else. So the rule is, if you are a serving soldier, you're not supposed to participate in politics. I don't know who this is directly pointing out to, but I know one way or the other. Now, the ruling follows Captain Juventin Omara's contesting for a Beam District chairpersonship in the 2021 general elections before he got a discharge letter from the army. So you have to first resign, like I said, then you start your electoral process. And of course, Karuma undergoes final tests ahead of completion. And of course, yes, we're going to be generating more electricity in our country again. And of course, a total of 200 megawatts is being evacuated from the dam to the national grid as a trial power. Yeah, very soon, people are going to be accessing electricity all over our country, Uganda, hoping that the prices are going to be incentivized so that people can easily access electricity all over the country. Still in the the Daily Monitor, and of course, getting to the comment section. If everyone loves Uganda, why does it increasingly feel isolated and smaller? More on that if you get yourself a copy of these papers right here. Well, of course, for those that are interested into Kahino Tafire's case about Nigeria stock farmland, you can get yourself a copy and actually read more. Well, of course, MPs blast Minister Kaduchi over high school fees. Yeah, a lot of parents have come in to complain about the school fees hikes. So imagine the education system is the most expensive thing these days. If you do not have enough, trust me, your kids are going to be home-seated and you'll opt for homeschool. Yeah, if you're good. Well, of course, government seeks for private partner as Umeme exits. Well, the government is in the process of searching for a private partner who will work with Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited and take over the Umeme concession in March next year when their contract comes to an end. Yeah, so let's look for the best partners so that we can. Umeme had issues. People had very many issues with Umeme, and hoping that this coming board, electricity board, will have something to do about what is happening in Ghana. And of course, government to waiver 50,000 shillings national ID renewal fees. Are you serious? Really? Well, the government is planning to waiver the 50,000 fee required for the national renewal of national ID. Excuse me. I thought this was supposed to be if I'm okay. Well, we shall be getting. Now, the law provides for renewal of national IDs every 10 years, premised on the fact that the security features of these IDs and physical features of these holders degenerate with time. So why do I have to pay for the renewal of my national ID? In the first place, if I didn't pay, I thought it is supposed to be the person who loses, who's careless, that has to pay. I mean, why do I have to pay 50,000? This is extremely extortion. I do not agree with it. This is government property. Why do I need to pay for the services? In any case, are we paying for printing? What are we paying for photo shoot? I don't get it. So I really do not agree with this whole aspect of us paying for renewal of national IDs. It's unacceptable. I do not really agree with this notion. Well, of course, Parliament orders police circles to stop a mandatory salary deduction. Yeah. Now, of course, government urged to fund blue economy strategy. Yes, the government has been asked to fund its blue economy strategy implementation and strengthen its coordination platform. Yes, so those that are into the blue economy, that is it. And of course, Minister holds consolation of over 30 land titles. Yes, the land state minister, Sam Mayanja, halted the consolation of 31 land titles belonging to various individuals in Walukuba, Masese, the Division Ginger District City, I beg your pardon, following a dispute with Kilembe Mines Limited and Tasco Industries. So yeah, that is what is happening in the country as you were out there celebrating the Lovers' Day, and what has happened. That is quite interesting. And of course, still oil palm farmers to earn 1.15 trillion. Of course, farmers in Uganda are set to benefit from the $300 million previously spent on importing oil products once the country releases 100,000 hectares of oil palm trees. So according to the Minister of Agriculture, 40,000 hectares are expected to be planted by 2028. So very soon we're going to be exporting palm oil. Yeah, so it's a good thing. So if you are hoping to venture into agriculture, you could be part of those that actually produce palm oil. Yeah, because we have it in small quantities here in our country, Uganda. And of course, still more happening in our country, Uganda, if you get yourself a copy of these papers right here. Well, of course, 26 minutes past 7 a.m. Well, of course, we're going for a short breather. It's quite a rather a cold morning, yes, but make it a point that you reach to your workplace, because for some people, whether come shine, whether come rain, you do not have excuse, you have to appear. Well, let's go in for a short commercial break. I will be right back with East Africa and international business news. Just stick around.